Hello everyone and welcome to the Watkins Glen Road Course for the hell of a good 70K at Watkins Glen. Paul Jackson starts on pole, Matty Porta alongside him. Then you got Zachary Fitzwater, Brad Cheston, Larry Hagan, Carson Bowers, Alex Kraft, Jay Jefferson, Diego Yepes, and Matt Sladek. Let's go down trackside for the commands to fire the engines.
Drivers, start your engines.
Pepsi and the NSDCA have teamed up to bring you the Pepsi Pole Award for all 20 Crown Royal Truck Series races this season. The award goes to the fastest qualifier of each of the 20 races, and this week it's Paul Jackson here at the Watkins Glen Road Course in Watkins Glen, New York. He was able to put down the fastest lap, the first pole for GoDaddy this season. He's looking to bring us down to the green flag and try to win today here at the Glen. And with that, 36 trucks will start up here at Watkins Glen. The roar of the crowd, the roar of the trucks as they head down into turn one on their pace lap. Paul Jackson, Matty Porta. Surprisingly, Paul Jackson for GoDaddy Motorsports. He's up in 5th in points, has been released from his ride at the end of the season, and will be a free agent. So interesting to see if anyone will pick Jackson up. Porta in 2nd. But speaking of Porta, he's a great road course racer. Let's take a look at these track facts real quick. It is the 6th race of the Watkins Glen road course in the NSDCA. The last 5 seasons, the first season we had no crashes, and the last few races at Watkins Glen have been chaotic. That is why we are no longer using the bus stop on the backstretch. The backstretch is now just wide open down into the carousel, which will be a good passing opportunity because these trucks will slide up the track as they hit that corner, especially for the first time. Last season we had 3 cautions. This season we are running now 21 laps instead of, I believe it was 14 or 15, so expect a bit more chaos there. But the pit window, 10 to 13 laps, is interesting. But as we see right here, Brad Cheston, Zachary Fitzwater starting 3rd and 4th. These are your road course ringers, the highest up running ones. Alex Kraft starts in 7th. You got Casey Mears in 11th, Marcus Yepes in 12th. Alexa Luchon for Jones Racing Inc. She will start 18th, with Tyler Jones making his return to the series. He's 26th. And Nicholas Moore driving for Impala's number 07. He's in 30th. Paul Jackson, not really a road course ringer, but he starts on pole for GoDaddy. But Matty Porta, the full-time road course ringer, he comes into this race 8th in points, +1 on the cutoff. Now Gatlin Downey's starting pretty far back in the 27th position. That's good for him. But still, Porta, if he can win this race, this might be the only one he has a real good chance at. He's shown speed every time we come to a road course, but he just has not been able to capitalize. 1 career win at Dover. Last season, he and Kraft wrecked in turn 1 as Kraft overshot the corner, flew right up into Porta, and the front row from last season crashed into turn 1, took both of them out of the race, and that was what sparked Kraft's downfall. He was released after this race last season from JRI, and that was his story. Alex Kraft is starting 7th for Sauber. He has DNF'd 6 times this season, or been in a crash at least, crashed or DNF'd 6 times this season. He rolls off 7th. This is the race Sauber was marking on the calendar because Kraft won the JROC race earlier in the off season. It's going to be chaotic. This racetrack is always chaotic, but without the bus stop, how many crashes will be hurtful? Sam Picard flipped upside down into the tire barriers in Season 2. We've had some chaos in Season 3. Coming on down, Watkins Glen, the hell of a good 70K, and we are green at Watkins Glen. Jackson leads us down a bit of 2 and 3 wide further back, but Jackson's going to get a nice jump down into turn 1. We're going to go to the higher up camera to make sure Hagan's going to go spinning. Matt Sladek's in it. Brady Burkhart's in it, and they spin into turn number 1. Caution is right back out, but we are going side by side for the race lead. Jackson versus Fitzwater as they head up through the S's. Fitzwater down on the inside, side by side with Porta as they head on down. Cloud's in it. There's just chaos in the back of this pack. A lot of trucks getting damaged up, but as they head down the back straightaway, there it is, into the carousel for the first time. We're racing back to the line. Fitzwater on the very inside of Jackson. This is where you want to make some passes because these trucks will definitely slide around through this corner. Zachary Fitzwater now your race leader. Porta is going to try to make 2nd. Jackson back to 3rd. Cheston Bowers your top 5. And Carter Friesen further back. He's going to be going pretty wide. Now Jackson's going to look back to the inside of Fitzwater, looking for that race lead. Not going to happen. Fitzwater is going to try to lead us through. Coming on back down through turns 6 and 7. This part of the course is pretty slick as well, and we're going to have the flybys that come off. Fitzwater will lead us back to the line with Jackson and Porta, your top 3. But as they come back around everyone, it looks like this time we'll be able to keep it clean through this corner. But chaos already. Morris, Hagan,
Logan, Cloud, and the 13 Alexander Rowe, your defending winner here, all crashed in that. Cloud goes actually up back into the wall. He's going to lose it to Alexander Rowe down the front straightaway, but chaos, a lot of trucks torn up already. But up front, they remain pretty clean, and it's Zachary Fitzwater in the race lead. But what we want to see here is what happened, and it looks like Larry Hagan, he's in 5th. He gets into the corner, and Carson Bowers runs into the back of him. 34 goes around Matt Sladek into the back of the 48, and a lot of trucks kind of pile in there. But we'll take another angle of this. Yeah, he just kind of broke for the corner, and he went around. But looking at this race from yesterday in the Mountain Dew Custom Series, the same thing happened down here in turn number 1. Nicky Morris, Sam Picard getting together by the bad braking of those two. But there was more to this crash up into the S's. Logan Cloud is about 5 wide. They get hooked right there. He's going to get some of the worst damage in that 92. You also see they just squeeze Aiden Burkhart 5 wide into the S's, and everyone just piles in. But we'll take you guys to the first commercial break right here on lap number 2 of 21 here at the Helluva Good 70K. We'll get you guys back to the action after this. Back live here at the Helluva Good 70K, and it's Zachary Fitzwater right now in the race lead. Paul Jackson second as they're going to be coming through 6 and 7, possibly going down for their first pit stops of the race. Again, the fuel window, 10 to 13 laps, so if you pit at lap 10, you might have to save a little bit to try to get in to the end. It is a 21-lap race, so that'd be halfway. That would be halfway, but if you pit now, especially for 4 tires and fuel, your race, you're going to have to take 2 pit stops. But as everyone comes back through the corner, it looks like no one is going to duck down right now, at least. No, Sladek will, and a bunch of the damaged trucks. Perez, Luca, Marcus Yepes, Brady Burkhart, Alexa Luchon, Peter Onjak, a lot of trucks coming on down. Try to repair that damage. Those are the guys that are in the back. Jacob Edson going to be the only one from that back half that does not come in, but we'll take a look, make sure pit stops go clean. There's Matt Sladek. There's Marcos Yepes in that 23. Brady Burkhart in the 99 pitting just right behind him. You got Jay Jefferson in that 48. Texas Star Racing has had some pretty good finishes. And Yepes actually comes in. They're going to do a stop and go, it looks like. Luchon as well. I thought Yepes was not in that crash, and I believe I was right. He just came down for a splash of fuel just to save, I guess, that one lap. Right there, you got Camden, Luca, Jose Perez, Nicholas Moore, everyone just coming on down, either trying to repair the truck, get some fuel in it. There's some issues on a lot of teams after that crash, but as they pace back around, only 2 pace laps here at Watkins Glen, except near the end we might see 3, depending on what the track officials say. But Zachary Fitzwater in the race lead. He only has 1 career win in the NSDCA. That is at Mosport in the Crown Royal Truck Series last season for Onge Auto. He's now in your race lead, and Paul Jackson in second. His only Crown Royal Truck Series career win came at the Crown Royal 300 last year, the inaugural Crown Royal Truck Series race. He shocked everyone in the Monster Motorsports equipment. Matty Porta in third. As we keep saying, he is the one right on that cutoff, just 1 point ahead of Gatlin Downey. If he wins here, that is big. And this is what everyone thinks that will be his only chance at a victory. Matty Porta in that 20. He sits in third. Carson Bowers fourth for the Verizon Wireless number 25 for Angiato. He's looking to take home a good finish for them. And Brad Cheston, he's returned to the Red Bull Motorsports number 24 in place of Nicholas Wade. He's fifth. Alex Kraft sixth. Sauber Racing, as we said, they've crashed out in a lot of races this season. And he is on the chopping block of maybe not even any team picking him up. So really, if he wants to be more than just a road course ringer, he's going to have to pick it up on ovals, but showing good today. Diego Yepes will be back there as well. Matthew Eves, and I believe there's Matthew Eves. Casey Mears that we missed there. He will be restarting 8th. And Zachary DeLello, he's one of the drivers fighting for the points championship, regular points championship. He's going to restart in 10th. As we come around, all 36 trucks are still on the grid, and Zachary Fitzwater is the one going to be leading us back around down into turn number 1. 6 and 7, a troubling part of the track. The carousel, troubling part of the track. The S's can be pretty calm, especially if you leave each other enough room. But the 2 main problems on this track are the exit of 7 and turn number 1. The carousel, they'll run wide, but usually they won't wreck each other too much. Coming on back down into the restart zone, Fitzwater and Jackson lead us down. Green flags back in the air at Watkins Glen. Porta's going to follow Jackson. They're going to be 3 wide for the race lead. Jackson all the way to the bottom. Porta even lower. Porta wants the lead. Jackson's going to give it up. He gives up that second position, and now Porta is going to be challenging with Fitzwater into the S's as they go through. 3 wide for the race lead into the S's. Porta making some contact. Fitzwater with them. We stay clean and green through turn number 1. Now Porta on the inside of Fitzwater coming down the back straightaway. Bowers and Cheston right there, and Kraft is with him as well. But Porta now is going to lead the charge on the inside. He has Bowers. Now look at Brad Cheston. You can't go 3 wide down this back straightaway into the carousel. Look at how tight it is. We're going to go to the aerial shot here, and Bowers is going to be the one to back out of it. Porta slides up in front of Fitzwater, tries the slide job. Fitzwater gives him the bump. Now they might hook coming off the corner. Jackson, there goes the 24. He slides it, saves it by Brad Cheston, and down the back straightaway they go. Cheston and Bowers now lose a lot of time, but Porta, Jackson, and Fitzwater pulling away. Into 6 and 7. Jackson on the inside. Porta now on the outside. There you see Alex Kraft. He's up into the 4th position now. But Kraft side by side with Jackson for the race lead, looking for the battle. Kraft, Yepes, and Eves, the remainder of that top 6. And everyone, can they keep it clean? Little bit of Stapleton flying off. Sladek in that 52 bouncing off of the wall further back there. But the top 3 going to go single file into the corner. We're going to take a wider outlook. Fitzwater gets kind of hit by Jackson. I think they're going to be 3 wide into the S's again. No, Fitzwater's not going to let that happen. But Jackson up the inside of Porta, going up through the S's. The rest of the field, we just got to keep it under green. Now the 13 goes for a ride. That is Alexander Rowe. He will not be winning his 2nd race at Watkins Glen, and he has announced that he will only be running Most Sport the rest of the season in the trucks. 3 wide for the 2nd position. Matty Porta down to the inside. Or that's not Matty Porta, that's Alex Kraft. Porta's on the outside, but as they head into the corner, a cluster of 5 trucks. I don't know how well that's going to work. Kraft has had it against Jones Racing Inc. ever since last season at Watkins Glen after they dumped him, but now he's side by side with Porta. The rest of the field coming off of the corner, rushing off of the carousel. 1 truck wide, that's Jose Perez further back. Matty Porta down 3 wide. Now Eves is going to try to throw it in 3 wide in that 83. Alex Kraft fights back, but Paul Jackson, your race leader, as they head through the corner. We're going to have a flyby as they come off of turn number 7 here. Might see a couple trucks slapping the wall, getting a bit sideways coming through the corner, but everyone looks like they're going to keep it clean for right now. Alexa Luchon dives herself down pit road. Now Alex Kraft looking for the 3rd position. He dives it in and keeps it ahead of Matty Porta, but the top 5 right now racing hard. Look at Tim Foster in this 40. He's up here in the top 10 with Casey Mears. That's 2 Launch Auto trucks up here. Carson Bowers right behind. He was held up by getting into it with Brad Cheston in that number 24. But as they go, Paul Jackson has Fitzwater all over the back of him, coming down the back straightaway. 6 of 21. We're keeping it clean and green. Cautions are the thing that breed cautions, but we'll still see that here. You see that line of trucks and everyone just trying to make some moves. But Jackson has Fitzwater all over the back of him. It's going to be hard to shake off Fitzwater, and especially hard to shake off Alex Kraft. He has never gone to a victory in any of the main series. He's only won in the JROC, and it was at this track. Maybe the setups don't work. Maybe his truck just isn't as good as it was in the JROC in those cars, but he is up in 3rd. He's moving up, and he's going to be a driver that you'll have to watch coming to the end. Matty Porta in 4th. Diego Yepes in 5th. Not really known as a road course ringer, but still, with that team, he can do almost anything. Jackson went wide and almost into the wall. That's going to bring Zachary Fitzwater down to his inside. They're going to be racing side by side down into turn 1, looking for the race lead. Fitzwater versus Jackson. Don't forget, they're going to have some pit stops around lap 10 to lap 13. We're getting close to that. Fitzwater's now going to get sideways. He's into the tire barrier, spins it down the front straightaway. A couple trucks were in it as well. That's not the front straightaway, that's a side straightaway. But we saw Diego Yepes went out into the wall. Ryan Butcher's going to have to dive all the way to the inside of Fitzwater. Jefferson holds him up, and that is Fitzwater's day done. A lot of trucks into the grass. It's just a dirt fest over here. We're dirt track racing. Friesen just came out of nowhere there, but up in front, it's now Paul Jackson, Alex Kraft, Zachary Fitzwater. That 59 was up front. That's going to cost him a lot, but now Alex Kraft in that 7. Can he contend with Paul Jackson? Looks like they might be trying to go side by side coming off of the corner. Kraft is there down the back straightaway, and they're racing their way back to the yellow flag. Everyone else going to keep it pretty clean coming on through here, but now cautions, as we said, breed cautions. This could be an interesting restart, but everyone might be pitting this time by. Jackson and Kraft up front. Kraft is not going to get Jackson unless he walks it wide. He does not. Porta's going to be the one walking it wide, and Jackson will lead us back to the caution flag. Tyler Jones is up to 4th. What a run there. I believe that's Tib Foster in 5th. Zachary DeLello, Matthew Eves, Eli Bright. Looks like Brad Cheston and Gatlin down to your top 10. Truck spinning at the end. That's DJ Gibson spinning around. Peter Onjak, look at him slide that truck sideways to miss that 53. There's Alexa Luchon. She's one of the road course ringers at the back. Alexander Rowe as well. But everyone going to be able to keep it off of each other coming back to the line. Zachary Fitzwater in this 59. You just saw that's how much he wants to win a race. That's how much he wants to be up front, and it's going to cost him here. We still have a bit of while to go, especially with pit stops. I'm going to assume, or I hope, that most of these drivers will come down and take their 4 tires and fuel right here. It'd be a stretch to get it to the end, but at least they wouldn't be as chaotic on this restart. 8-lap-old tires at Watkins Glen, still a lot of wear. But as everyone comes back around, coasting on through, it was Zachary Fitzwater that goes around down in turn number 1, pushing too hard. Diego Yepes also had a problem.
Starting here with Fitzy, he's on the inside of Paul Jackson. He ducks back in line, but he's going to try to make a move coming out of the corner as Jackson goes wide. They make contact, hits the back of him. He slides into the tire barriers, just taps it, spins around. Heartbreak for him on board with Matty Porta, and you just see that 59 just hits it, and the tires kind of eat him up, spin him in there. But Matthew Eves and Diego Yepes, if you remember Lane and Johnson from yesterday, those two got together the same way down in the carousel, but it looks like Eves just runs up into Diego. They're going to make some contact. Diego actually gets a light bit of air, but we will go ahead and take our second commercial break here at Watkins Glen.
Back live here at Watkins Glen as we are heading through turns 6 and 7 on lap 8. Nathan Stapleton, I believe something's amiss on that 80 car, and he has smoke coming from the back, so it looks like he's just going to park it in the sand as they go. And strategy here, this is insane. I guess they're banking on another caution, but Porta, Tyler Jones, Eves, Bright's going to stay out. Mears will stay out. Nathan Stapleton, as you see there, he's done. But a lot of drivers are going to bring it on down because we are edging near to the pit window. Ryan Butcher also going to stay out. So that's 6 trucks that are going to stay out and try some insane strategy here, which I don't know if I would want to do that right now. But as they come on down, you see a long line of trucks. Let's hope no one bashes into each other on the way in and out on this tight pit road. But it looks like 4 tires and fuel is going to be the name of the game right here. That's Edson further back. Tib Foster brings himself back out. There's Fitzwater. Alex Kraft. No, Jackson is going to beat him out. Kraft will be second. Foster up to 3rd. DeLello 4th. I believe that is Brad Cheston's 24. No, that's Sebastian Kukul on 5th. Gatlin Downey 6th. Edson up to 7th. Maurice and Marcos Yepes. You got that's Carson Bowers. Brad Cheston. A lot of drivers. A bit longer on the pit road for some of these guys. Might be repairing some issues there. 3 wide coming out with Nicholas Moore, Brady Burkhart, Logan Cloud. That might not even work. They might spin on their way back out. Let's actually take a look, see if they get it right. Okay, Brady's going to back off, and Moore is going to take that spot away from Cloud. So I guess that's how they came out. But the top 6, Porta stayed out. That is surprising. This guy has so much on the line, and right now, if he sat here like this, and he could run out in a lap or two. 10 to 13 laps is the fuel window. We're going to be restarting on lap number 10, coming to lap 10. So that's insane. Tyler Jones, of course, this is just a one-off for him. He's up to 2nd, just trying to get a good finish here. Matthew Eves in 3rd. He's 22nd in points. It's going to be a bit tougher for him to go up there, so he needs to just win first to even get in the top 20. He's not going to point his way in. Eli Bright, I don't know why he'd take this risky of a call. He's up in 4th now, but he's still only just a few points ahead of 20th in points, which could be scary. And Casey Mears in the 04 is also staying out. I mean, this is one of Casey Mears' just fun races on the schedule. He is a ringer, so maybe he's just trying to do something for Anjato, so maybe they can see if that strategy will work next season when they come here. Watkins Glen has been signed on for the CRTS for the next 3 seasons. Unknown about the MDCS. Still, the jury is out on that. They're not sure if they want to host another Mountain Dew Custom Series race, or they might have the MDCS go to another road course. Mossport was also on the table. Matty Porta is going to lead us down. This is some insane strategy by the top 6. Ryan Butcher also, he stayed out. That is something. That driver, last season, he almost won this race, but it came down to the end. He had a penalty for a restart and lost. Porta, Jones, Eves, Bright, Mears, your top 5. Coming on down into the restart zone. Green flag is out. We're back racing. Kraft making a move. DeLello makes a move. Eli Bright's going to make a move. These top 6 are on 8-lap-old tires. This could be sketchy going down into turn 1. And Bright is going to shove Eves up the track. Some contact there. Alex Kraft works his way to the inside. Going to make sure everyone is able to get through turn number 1 safely. That's the first part of making it around for a clean green flag lap. And there they go. Eli Bright now on the inside of Matthew Eves. But already Paul Jackson in those fresher tires working his way under Ryan Butcher. Alex Kraft, Zachary DeLello further back as well, but Matty Porta right now running away from Tyler Jones. Look at the whole field. All 35 trucks, I should say, still in this race. They are right together. The only driver out of this is Nathan Stapleton. Porta's going to walk it wide with those older tires, and he is pushing. You can tell. Casey Mears now down to the inside of Matthew Eves. That's a rivalry. Anjado versus SBR. Could be a fight down this back straightaway. Might see some bent fenders. Logan Cloud, he's pretty slow. He got whacked up to the outside. But as they head into the corner, Jackson works his way under Casey Mears. He's quickly dislodging these drivers on the older tires. The question is, will they come in and pit? When will they come in and pit? Bright, Eves, Jones comes in late. He's going to crash. Eli Bright's in it. Matthew Eves, and I believe we will make it back to a caution, but all the drivers who tried to stay out and gamble just crashed themselves. Tyler Jones's race is done. Eli Bright with that damage might knock him outside of the top 20. Matthew Eves, that just cost him everything. That was a stupid move by everyone, but this time at least they won't be racing back to the line, so that'll save us some green flag laps. Matty Porta leads us back around. Paul Jackson, he came in pit. He's up to second now. But Porta, Mears, and Butcher were going to stay out. I don't know where Tyler Jones was going. He turned in way late. Eli Bright is now out of the race, so that costs him a ton, as well as the 63 of Tyler Jones. So that's 2 teams that could have had good races and 1 team that could be out of the championship for that. But Porta, at this point, we're going to be restarting with 13 laps of 21 complete. So these top 3, Porta, Mears, and Butcher, will pretty much have to come down pit road unless they're saving insanely. But trucks with damage, let's just take a look back through the field. There's Matthew Eves. Fitzwater has damage. That's the end of his day. He and Gibson might have gotten together. You also see Matt Sladek has damage. The 3 of Alexa Luchon has damage. And Logan Cloud also, so they might have stacked up coming back to the line. Peter Onjak has some right side damage, no worries there. And I think Brady Burkhardt, if we can get an angle of that. And yes, Burkhardt has some front end damage, so does Jose Perez. So there might have been an incident coming back to line this field up. But we'll go ahead and go around, see if Matty Porta, Casey Mears, Ryan Butcher pit. And if they don't, this restart will be hectic. I'm going to hope that all 3 of them pit together. But Porta getting some bonus points, maybe that's good. But now he's going to have to see if everyone else will run out of gas, if they will be able to make it green. If it's green, these top 3, Porta, Mears, and Butcher, are probably the shoe-ins for the win because these guys kind of pitted on the very edge, the very, very edge of the fuel window. But with Porta, Butcher, and Mears pitting now, this would ensure them that they'd be able to make it to the end. So this is a bit of a strategy right here. Do you think there's going to be a caution? Do you think that this race could go green the entire way? Porta and Mears and Butcher, I guess, were banking on an early caution into a green flag run, which could happen, which could definitely happen. But we will see what they do as they come down pit road. Hopefully, Matty Porta is going to take the corner. And yes, he will come in, Mears will come in, Butcher will come in as well. We'll just hold the camera right there, see if anyone else will actually make a dive. But that moves Kraft to second, Foster third, fourth DeLello, fifth it looks like Brad Cheston. So interesting. Carter Friesen's going to bring it on in. He was at the back of this pack. I believe he had some damage maybe. And now look at that. The entire back half of the grid, whether it's because of damage or fuel strategy, they're all coming in. That includes... So Matty Porta's in, Casey Mears is in, Ryan Butcher in, Carter Friesen in, and then we got Nicholas Moore, Brady Burkhardt, Aiden Burkhardt, Logan Cloud, Peter Onjak. A lot of drivers coming on in after that. Larry Hagan, Matthew Eves stay out. Hagan, interesting there. He was the only one at the back that did not come in. Camden Luca now up inside the top 15. But everyone going to come back out onto track. A lot of damage. It looks like from a stack up on coming back to the Caution, Alexa Luchon now out. Eli Bright is out. Brady Burkhart is out, which is one of your championship contenders. Zachary Fitzwater, 59 team. They came here to race. They came here to win. It's going to cost him. He spun it out. They tear the hood off, and he is going to come back out with Matt Sladek. But we earned a caution for the second time today here at the Glen. It was Tyler Jones. He was going down pit road, and he just misses it, runs into the pit barrier, and Eli Bright and Eves just get in it. But not much to say there. They all tried to dive in, and they got together. But under the restart down to turn 1, John Dilks, and everyone kind of just stacks up trying to get into line. Dilks gets spun, and that's going to bring in Brady, Aiden, Peter Onjak. A bunch of them kind of get some damage in that as they spin. Lights on the pace truck have gone out here at the Helluva Good 70K at the Glen. And we are here for Paul Jackson out in the race lead with Alex Kraft second, Tib Foster third, Zachary DeLillo fourth, and Sebastian Kukulon up to the 5th position. Marcos Yepes sits 6th with 7th, Gatlin Downey, 8th, Jacob Edson, 9th, Blake Maurice, 10th, Carson Bowers. So we've had a couple crashes right away after a bit of a green flag run off the bat. And we're down. This is the strategy time. Who's going to be able to make it to the end? Who won't? There are now 5 drivers out of this race due to a stack up when they were coming back to get the caution. Brady Burkhart is out from that. Alexa Luchon. And all the drivers that went down pit road did go down because they had damage. They repaired it. And some of them might have taken some tires. So that could make it interesting to the end. And now those guys that pitted that last time by, if they took fuel, they are clear to the end. These guys that didn't pit last time by and pitted before, it's going to be iffy on that. It's going to be dangerous to see, but if we get enough caution laps, they'll probably all be able to make it. If we don't get enough caution laps, it could be interesting. Might be seeing some drivers running out of fuel here at the end, but Paul Jackson, Alex Kraft, Tib Foster, Zachary DeLello, Sebastian Kukulon out in front. To get a fuel strategy race here at the Glen, we need to get green flag and clean green flag racing for a few laps, let the field spread out. It's hard to get green flag racing here in the Crown Royal Truck Series. So many trucks. The trucks do not have a high top speed or great aero, which means that they really do just kind of stack up and slow down coming down any long straightaway. Coming down to the green flag. Paul Jackson leads us down. Alex Kraft is second. You got Tib Foster. He's going to make a move. Marcus Yepes makes a move. Zachary DeLello going for a championship here. He's down to the inside. Foster's going to make a move. Foster and Kraft make some contact through the corner. They're going to come back on out. DeLello runs it wide. Now DeLello and Foster beating and banging into the corner. Foster gets sent to the grass, and now he's going to be stuck in the grass through the S's. And coming off. Caution's back out. Carter Friesen's in it. Aiden Burkhart, Fitzwater, Mears. They're all piling in down in turn number 1. Foster got sent wide, and now they're racing behind Paul Jackson. You got Marcos Yepes in that 23. He's making a move. Alex Kraft in that 7 as Jackson DeLello right now 1-2. Kukulon up to 3rd. Gatlin Downey, this is definitely moving him. Kraft just sent the 23 and the 12 into the wall. Sebastian Kukulon driver's side into the tire barrier to heavy speeds. Let's hope he is okay after that one. But as they come off the corner, now single file up front. Alex Kraft still 3rd. Jacob Edson, where did he come from? He's up to 5th. Blake Maurice is in 6th in that number 11. But as they come off the corner and through the corner, Paul Jackson now trying to maintain the race lead. It looks like he drove it wide. DeLello runs it wider. Kraft is going to have an opportunity to get to the inside. Don't think he gets there. And Marcus Yepes gets spun in front of the field out of turn number 7. Everyone's going to be able to avoid him, it looks like. But chaos right down here at the beginning of this race, or at the midpoint of this race, especially at the beginning as well. Just this entire facility brings chaos, but that Hayden Burkhart putting it in the wall coming out of the corner. Carter Friesen, Sebastian Kukulon, that looks like their days are now done. But Carter Friesen dove to the inside of Casey Mears looking for a spot. Mears is going to get into him off of the corner and actually spin him. So two Watkins Glens in a row that the driver of the 04 will be in a crash. The MDCS yesterday and this race today. But he will come actually back across into Aiden Burkhart, and I believe more they hit the wall. But we'll go ahead and take another commercial break. But after that, those 2 crashes, we are trying to pace around Paul Jackson, Zachary DeLello, your race leaders. Question is, if you're in the back of the pack now, with only about, it looks like we'll have 6 laps to go, maybe, coming back to take the green flag, do you pit? Do you give up track position? Do you take the tires? Do you ensure that you're going to be able to make it to the end? Or do you just drop the clutch, drop it into 4th gear, and coast your way around the track to save some fuel? Will be interesting to see what will go on there. Carter Friesen's still on pit road. Aiden Burkhart back there as well. Sebastian Kukulon taking that car behind the wall. He has been taken to the infield care center, and he is okay. They are checking him just for regular stuff, but with these safety advances that have come from Season 1 and Season 2, Sebastian Kukulon thankfully okay after a vicious driver's side hit in the carousel. We're going to come around. Let's see if anyone will take a pit stop. Paul Jackson, the top 5. Looks like the top 10 are going to stay out. John Dilks dives it in that 68. He's up front. He was up inside the top 10. He dives it in. Matty Porta stays out. Eve stays out. Foster stays out. Butcher stays out. And it looks like John Dilks, the only one in. Marcus Yepes brings it in. He was the one that spun at the top of the hill coming back. But John Dilks in that 68, he pulls it on in. He's going to go to get some fuel. I think a splash and go of fuel. Yeah, he's coming back out. So it looks like Dilks just trying to ensure that he can make it to the end. But after a crazy time there, we're going to go ahead, take you guys to a quick commercial break, bring you guys back to the green flag in the hell of a good 70K. Field makes their way out of the carousel, turn number 5 here at Watkins Glen. And it's Paul Jackson in the race lead with Zachary DeLello second, Alex Kraft up to third, Gatlin Downey up to fourth. He is now in the points as they run, with Matty Porta being pretty far back. And fifth, Jacob Edson. In sixth, Blake Marie. Seventh, Carson Bowers. Eighth, Brad Cheston. Ninth, Jay Jefferson. And 10th, a great run for PNC Racing with Camden Luca. Perez, Yepes, Hagen, Porta 14th, Eves, Foster 16th, Butcher, Moore, Morris, and Rowe up inside the top 21 with Gibson, Onjak, Cloud, Fitzwater, the 52 is Sladek, Casey Mears, Aiden Burkhart, John Dilks, Marcus Yepes at the back of this grid. Coming on down, Paul Jackson, Zachary DeLello looking to take on and take a duel with Alex Kraft, Gatlin Downey looking for their first truck wins. Coming down the front straightaway, green flag is back in the air here at the Glen. Kraft looks to the inside, DeLello's going to go to the outside of Jackson. Jackson had a poor restart, and DeLello wants the outside. Edson looked down there. Kraft is going to take second. They're 3 wide coming off of it. Get Downey now with Edson on the inside. They'll just pinch him down. Will we be able to make it through turn number 1? Yes, we will. We have some green flag racing for right now. Kraft alongside Zachary DeLello. That's the battle for the second position, but Paul Jackson has been fast this entire race. He's now up there, but Kraft moves into second. Downey looking for third as they run down the back straightaway. Out of the S's, Tip Foster further back making a move. John Dilks, Aiden Burkhart pretty slow at the back. No one else has crashed yet, but the carousel is a dangerous place. Downey and Edson right there on the inside. Kraft goes up. He puts the bumper to Paul Jackson, and they slide coming off of the corner, but he keeps it straight. What a save by Jackson as they come off the carousel. That brings Downey back into this. You see the 52 run very wide at the back. Now Downey's going to look to the inside of Kraft. The inside not as strong through turn 6, and he's going to actually lose the position to Edson there as DeLello tries to block Carson Bowers. Paul Jackson right now in the race lead. Just keep it clean out of this corner. Camden Luca dives it down pit road. If they can keep it clean out of turn number 7, we might be able to see some good racing. Onjak ducks down pit road. There's an issue on the 44 and the 71. Maybe they're running out of fuel. Maybe we are seeing the fuel strategy come into play. Jackson and Kraft getting sideways, and now Kraft ducks to the inside. He's looking for the race lead up into the S's. And almost right there with Jackson. Now they're going to be side by side coming through the S's. You can make a pass here. You can make a pass down the back straightaway. Right here is great for that. And here comes Alex Kraft in that number 7. Jacob Edson, where did he come from? Where did GoDaddy come from today? Jackson in second. Now Jacob Edson looking for the race lead. They're going to be 2 wide into the corner, into the carousel. Zachary DeLello further back making a move, but the field right there. Edson going in. He body slams the number 7. Up the track goes Kraft, but he keeps it right in it. He's keeping his foot in it off the corner. He's going to be in second right now as Edson moved him out of the way, but Kraft just trying. Salber said before this race, go for the win, but keep it as clean as possible. I don't think Kraft could keep it clean now with Jacob Edson doing that to him. Paul Jackson runs it wide, and now it looks like Kraft will be clear into second. He can make the move down on the inside if he wants. DeLello in third, Jackson sideways. Jefferson slides up the track. Brad Cheston as well. Matthew Eves is going to bounce off of the wall. Him and Butcher stack up, but they keep it green. Maybe this will look like the Mountain Dew Custom Series race. They could keep it clean and green until the end. But Kraft goes right back after that number 10. DeLello's there. Jackson's back to 5th. But look at Gatlin Downey up there trying to hang on. There's Matty Porta, who's 9th in points as they run. But the rest of the field making their way on by Peter Onjak and them. Edson now has Kraft all over the back of him. Here comes Alex Kraft. He looks to the inside as they head down the back straightaway. Coming down, we will have 4 to go next time by, or 3 to go next time by. We're on 4 to go right now. DeLello right there. Kraft looking to the inside. DeLello's going to throw it in that 57. Makes some contact maybe with Kraft. Gatlin Downey gets shoved all the way out by Paul Jackson. Now DeLello and Kraft side by side for second as Edson pulls away. Down the back straightaway, or down the side straightaway. There are 3 straightaways here. Don't know what to call this one, but Kraft clear back into second. He's looking for this race win. He hops the curbs. That really slows him down. 4 Fords versus 2 Dodges in the top 5. You got a Chevy, a Gatlin Downey, the Toyota, Blake Maurice. These guys are getting physical. Gatlin Downey sent into the tire barriers. He ends up on top, and Jacob Edson might have just won this race. Gatlin Downey, that is a vicious hit, and that might end the race, giving Jacob Edson the win. We said at Watkins Glen that might be cause for just a finish under caution, but Jacob Edson, your race leader. Alex Kraft, if so, he comes so close. If we get a 2-lap or a 1-lap dash, should be exciting. Zachary DeLello 3rd, Paul Jackson 4th, Carson Bowers 5th. Jose Perez up in the top 10, but I don't know how he has to be enjoying this run because he just saw his owner mount the barriers and go head on into a wall. That reminds me of Riley Spurley Tube, but remember, the NSDCA did do some safety innovations to the cockpit pretty much. They put stronger metal on the legs, around the legs. They have the Hans device, and they've beefed it up so you don't get as jerked as much in wrecks. But, oh, God. Thoughts and prayers right now for Gatlin Downey. They are trying to help him out of the car. And there's no contact with him on the radio right now. His team asked for him. He didn't respond. So this is scary, folks. But we'll stay live. We'll stay live for any news, but we will not show the video until we have confirmation that Downey is at least good enough, is okay. But head on into the pit wall at Watkins Glen, coming off of turn 7. He made contact. I don't know. I think it might have been with Bowers or Jackson. I'm not sure, but we'll see. We were on the edge of a pit window. There's been a lot of caution laps basically saving these guys, but Gatlin Downey absolutely mounts the wall. He ended on top of the wall, which is very scary, of course, for any track. But we're hoping we could get back to the green flag. Jacob Edson, Alex Kraft, Zachary DeLello, Paul Jackson, Carson Bowers, your top 5. But we will stay live. We will not go to commercial break, and we will let this next lap kind of go around. If the pace lights, Jacob Edson pits! Edson is out of fuel. Kraft is going to take the lead, and if Kraft wins this race, if we do not go back green, Jacob Edson will lose it just like Ryan Butcher. I think he ran out of fuel. That's what he's saying. He's out of gas in that number 10. He's not going to be able to make it around, and Jacob Edson has to pit from the lead for fuel only stop. Jose Perez ducks out of line. He might be out of fuel. This could be chaotic, and Alex Kraft leads, but if the lights on the pace truck do not go out down the back straightaway, we will not be going back to green flag. Alex Kraft is your race leader. Jose Perez just dumps it into the wall. May as well if he's out of fuel like that. But Alex Kraft right now sits as the race leader. Jose Perez, I believe he's out of fuel, and most likely will have to come back down, or there's a mechanical failure on it. Jacob Edson coming back out of pit road. He'll be at the back, but Alex Kraft now sits in the seat. If we don't go back racing and he can hang on, he might win. But Jose Perez, yeah, you see, I don't think he has any fuel left, or there's something sputtering in the engine because he barely was able to make it up the S's. But Alex Kraft for Sauber Racing Team, could he win this race? If the lights on the pace truck do not go out when we come around this corner, we're not going back green. That's where the lights go, and the lights are still on. The lights are still on. This race now with Jacob Edson running out of fuel, Jose Perez having a problem. Will we see these guys be able to make it back around with fuel? We know the highest driver with fuel, Matty Porta, he sits back there, but we will not be going back green this race. I think it's for the safety of Downey. They were still trying to get him off of... They got the truck off and they pulled it off to the side, but Downey is now on a stretcher. He is being taken to a local area hospital right away. He's not even going to the infield care center. Jose Perez, yeah, that 35 truck, that's heartbreak for him, but I don't think maybe Jose's even parking it just to go see Gatlin, but most likely he's going to be out of fuel. That 35 is running out, but these guys now have over 3 miles to go to finish this race. Or roughly about 2.5 miles, I should say, on this configuration. It's 3.4 on the boot, but 2.5 for the racetrack. But Alex Kraft right now, does the fuel last for these drivers? Matty Porta is the highest driver who we know for sure will be good on fuel. But Alex Kraft in this number 7 is the race leader. Zachary DeLello, Paul Jackson, Carson Bowers, Blake Maurice, your top 5, as Jacob Edson had to pit, and that's heartbreak for him. He did say he was running out of fuel. He must have pushed it too hard. Jose Perez takes to the dirt. That is just some weird line that these guys like to take. Maybe just kick up that dirt, get ready. He might stall it in the dirt. No, he's going to get through it. But Jose Perez will duck down pit road. Will anyone else duck down pit road? Will anyone else run out of fuel? Jose Perez is out of fuel. He's back there. Yep, you see him just coasting along. And, oh, Nicholas Moore runs out in that 07. So it's real, folks. Marcus Yepes, he's going to run out at the end. They're ducking down onto pit road. Sladek runs out. Camden Luca came in. Jack Edson came in. But that is four more trucks out of fuel. What is going to happen here? Can the fuel last? And can Alex Kraft take his first career Crown Royal Truck Series victory and first career NSDCA Main Series victory? But look at the driver in second. If Kraft runs out, Zachary DeLello is sitting waiting in the wings. This is going to be chaotic there for that 57, especially if the 7 just runs out of fuel. Paul Jackson at third. He's looking to put himself in the championship. Alex Kraft right now is pretty much mathematically impossible, especially taking into factor his season so far, an average finish of 26.6. That's how bad the 7 team has been, but we came to the road course. He finished top 10 at Sonoma, and right now, if he can just make it around to the start-finish line, Kraft will have won Watkins Glen and swept both of the road courses so far this season for Sauber Racing Team. But the 7 looking to go to victory lane. Maybe this will sway Sauber's choice, but still, Matty Porta, Zachary Fitzwater is a hefty duo, and both of them have outperformed Alex Kraft for most of their career, so it will be interesting to see where Alex Kraft will go, and especially if he could take home this win after the performance he's had today here at Watkins Glen. It should be interesting. But Gatlin Downey, there's still no word on him. One of the officials at the track has said that Gatlin was knocked unconscious from the crash. He is being taken. They're saying he's stable right now, but we just got to watch and hope Gatlin Downey is okay. We cannot show a video at this moment, but we will get one out to you hopefully by the end of the race if we hear any more news on Gatlin. But the rest of the field coasting around. Jacob Edson, he ran out of fuel with 2 to go. He pushed it too hard. We have 2 more quarters to go. Less than a mile is needed. Less than a gallon of gas. You can make it on fumes from here if you stay out on track. And Alex Kraft, he is on his way to his first career win. This could be 2 years in a row. The truck race will end under caution, and a driver who was leading coming to that caution will run out of fuel and lose the race. Alex Kraft in the number 7. He's going to make his way through turn number 7 here at Watkins Glen. We removed the boot. This invigorated the Crown Royal Truck Series, and Alex Kraft and Sauber Racing Team, they're going to get what they were deserved at Sonoma. They got it with Emil Alguersuari, and they're going to get it today. Alex Kraft wins the Helluva Good 70K at Watkins Glen. The rest of the field coming around. It looks like everyone else, everyone else will have just enough fuel to make it to the end. But Alex Kraft and Sauber Racing Team are going to celebrate in victory lane more than Kraft did at the JROC race. He's 30th in points coming in. He has to get inside the top 20 to make the chase for the championship. Highly unlikely with how this team has performed everywhere else, but this could be a huge benefit to this 7 team. Zachary DeLello comes up with yet another runner-up finish, but he will continue to expand his points lead. Paul Jackson, your pole sitter, comes home 3rd. Carson Bowers, great run for Andrado, 4th. Blake Murray's 5th. Jay Jefferson comes home 6th. Matty Porta, he was a fan favorite for this, 7th. Brad Cheston 8th. Tib Foster comes home with a nice top 9. Larry Hagan, not a road course ringer. He qualified 5th. He'll be 10th. Driver also fighting for the regular season championship. Diego Yepes 11th. Gibson 12th. Alexander Rowe comes home with P13. Brandon Morris 14th. Butcher 15th. Eves, Mears, Cloud, Fitzwater, and Dilks your top 20. Aiden Burkhart, Camden Luca, Peter On, Jack, Jacob Edson, and the 07 of Nicholas Moore 25th. Diego Yepes' younger brother Marcos Yepes ran out 26th, and Matt Sladek 27th. Gatlin Downey, AJ Jones, that is his satellite team. Sebastian Kukulon, Nicholas Wade, and all those other RBM drivers and JRI drivers are there. AJ Jones, though, has left the track, and he's going to check on Gatlin Downey. Gatlin drove for him for 2 seasons, and AJ still part of that team with Red Bull Motorsports, at least for this season. Alex Kraft come home with a victory. Zachary DeLello, 2nd, expanding his points lead, expanding it, and possibly being able to win. But as they come around, I think these guys are now starting to run out of fuel. Yeah, they're only maxing out around 50, so they're pretty much out of fuel. Kraft will not be able to do a burnout for his first race victory, but this 7 team, he gets home with the victory. A great run for Alfa Romeo Sauber's truck team and everyone in that Sauber garage. But we are still worried about Gatlin Downey and his condition. We will have that up for you as soon as possible. You see further back, Logan Cloud, I think he's out of gas too, coming back around. But everyone out of gas here at Watkins Glen. A chaotic finish. Gatlin Downey being rushed to the hospital. Alex Kraft getting his first career win. And 2nd all-time at Watkins Glen in 2 series. Thank you guys so much for watching the Helluva Good 70K at the Glen. And we'll see you guys next week. The Darlington Motor Speedway coming out for the first time on the Crown Royal Truck Series schedule, as well as that being the 2nd Fanta 5 race of the season. We thank you so much for watching the Watkins Glen race. We'll see you guys next week.